Hello and welcome back to Humans in 5. In the United Kingdom, February marks LGBT History Month. This is a month-long celebration and remembrance event for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender history, as well as the history of gay rights and the civil rights movement. LGBT History Month builds community, profiles role models, and highlights steps forwards in gay and civil rights.
You probably remember that we discussed the differences between sex and gender when we talked about the sex estimation of skeletons. For a quick refresher, a person's sex refers to their biological sex, whether they have a double X chromosome or an X and a Y chromosome. And gender refers to the social role a person takes on, whether they present themselves as a man or a woman.
You can think of gender as a spectrum, with man and woman being on either end with many different identities in between. For example, a person can be born as biologically female, with 2 X chromosomes, a womb, and ovaries, but can present themselves as a man through clothing, behavior, name, and other parts of their gender identity.
This person may refer to themselves as transgender. Transgender is a term used to describe people whose gender identity differs from the biological sex they were assigned at birth. For transgender people, the sex they were assigned at birth does not match with their internal, personal sense of being a man or a woman.
To better match their gender identity and biological sex, some transgender people decide to transition. Transitioning doesn't have to be medical. Plenty of people use clothing and makeup to express their gender identity. If there is a medical procedure involved, this could include reassignment surgery, a combination of hormone treatment and surgery that changes body parts that indicate biological sex, such as removing breasts or changing a penis into a vagina.
In the last couple of years, I've had lots of questions from my students about whether we can identify a transgender person from their skeleton. This is a really interesting time to be asking these questions because of the use of hormone treatment as a part of the transition process. During puberty, hormones such as estrogen and testosterone influence the shape of the skeleton to represent either a more masculine or a more feminine skeleton.
For example, if a person who was assigned as male at birth starts a female hormone treatment as part of their transitioning process before puberty, it is certainly possible that as they grow, their skeleton will look more feminine. It's hard to say how much this will affect the skeleton because this is a relatively recent medical treatment.
There are some examples of the effects of hormone changes on the skeleton from the past. In 2016, Zanata and colleagues from the University of Padua, Italy, examined the skeleton of Gaspare Pacioretty, who died in 1821. Pacioretty was a castrato singer. Castrato singers were talented performers who were selected as children and had their testicles removed before their teenage years. Testicles produce hormones that play a big role in male growth and development, including making the voice drop. Removing them meant that castrato singers could reach a greater range of singing notes since their voices never dropped.
Pacioretty's skeleton showed that he had signs of osteoporosis, which occurs when a person has fragile bones, as well as some issues in the spine that would have caused him pain during life. However, his skeleton still looked very masculine. Zanata and colleagues' study is a step forward in thinking about how reducing hormones can change the skeleton, but it doesn't tell us about the effect of the opposite sex's hormones on our bones.
Here at Humans in 5, we celebrate humans of all identities and the importance of LGBT History Month. We hope this episode has shown you how important it is for us to see people of different identities in the past and to celebrate them today.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.
And don't forget to subscribe!